Welcome back, everybody, to Son of a Lunch Lady. We're a funny podcast about growing up, getting old, and the good old days. I'm Mike Heath, and I'm your host, and I'm here with my wife and co-host, Megan the Townie Heath.
The Townie.
What's up, Meg? Meg was telling me earlier today that she just wants to be a Townie.
I do. I want to know all the people in my neighborhood. I want to know what's going on.
You want to know all of the tea.
Sure.
Okay, maybe not all the tea, but you want to know the information.
I want to know the inside scoop. I want to know the insider information. I want to know where the happy hours are, who owns what restaurant.
Yeah, Meg loves a good happy hour. The only thing Meg loves more than a good happy hour is, as master of the budget, deciding to go out to eat on a whim.
I do love that.
That's all you want to do?
That's all I want to do. It's hard when you are the financial planner of the family and all you want to do is eat out all the time.
Financial planner is such a boring way to say. I think master of the budget is way better than financial planner.
Okay, it's hard when you're the master of the budget.
Yes, exactly.
Because Mike is just going to look at me and say, can we spend it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like always trying to spend the money. Like I'm always looking to, for example, I'm always looking to protect our possessions. One would even say regain our possessions whenever we've fallen out of possession of them.
What are you talking about here?
I don't know, Meg. What happened on Friday?
I got my bike stolen.
What happened? How did you get your bike stolen?
I left it unlocked because I'm a freaking rookie.
In the city of Seattle.
In the city of Seattle, I left my bike unlocked. Rookie season over here. And then Mike asked if he should drive around to try to go find it. So I said, sure.
Whenever I said that to you, you're in a pretty vulnerable state. You were pretty crushed.
Yeah, I just felt so stupid.
Yeah. That's tough. It's tough. You know, you made a mistake and then you're suffering the consequences of that mistake.
Yeah.
As an adult, you know, that's a reality of getting older, you know, or even growing up too. You know, you got to face the consequences for your actions.
Yeah.
And you were feeling it. Whenever I said, I'm going to go out and drive around and go look for it, how likely did you think it was that I was going to find your stolen bike?
No chance.
No, zero chance?
I think maybe I thought a 10% chance. I thought maybe somebody would ride it and then lay it down, leave it somewhere, maybe stumble upon it. Because it hadn't been that long since it had gotten taken.
What, you think it had been less than an hour?
Like 30 minutes.
30 minutes from the approximate time of the bike snatch.
Yeah.
And the bike snatching of 2024. So I hop in the car and you send me the pin for where the bike was stolen from.
Yeah.
Or some would say taken, because is it really stolen if it was unlocked?
It was on private property.
Yeah, it's still stolen.
Yeah.
Still stolen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't put it on the curb like, hey,
No.
take this. It was behind a fence.
No, it was behind a fence in somebody's front yard on private property.
Right. Yeah. So no one was like, are they giving this bike away?
No.
I just came across a free giveaway bike. No. That wasn't the case. So you send me the pin. So I drive over there. It's probably 5 minutes from my house. And then I just get into the mind of a bike thief. Where would you go? Where would I go if I was the bike thief? So I'm heading down this street. I don't want to disclose what street it was, you know, for our own privacy and protection, I guess now, because we're being robbed left and right. But I get up to 50th Street. So that's like a major street that like crosses the highway. And so I'm parked over on the overpass, I guess you could say, on the top side over the highway. And I share that because there's a lot of like homeless encampments there. And I'm not saying like I didn't think it was, you know, I'm not trying to say that it's going to be a homeless guy that stole the bike. I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to get the bike back. You know, I'm not trying to throw any shade at any communities here in Seattle, but let me just go check out over here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have the down low, you know, of the notorious bike thieves of our neighborhood. So I get over there and As I'm sitting at the stoplight, I see a silver bike, or a gray bike, it's about a block ahead of me, and it crosses 50th and goes down an alley, but I'm stuck at this red light. It looks like the bike, but I can't. I'm not going to run a red light. It might not even be our bike.
Yeah.
So I wait patiently. I'm just patiently anticipating flooring it down this alleyway to catch up with this guy on this bike. So I do that, and I catch up to him within a block, but I still can't tell exactly if it's our bike or not, your bike or not. But the taillight of the bike is in the exact location that your bike is. I still don't know. So I follow this guy. I'm right on his tail for the next block. And then I pull up next to him, and I can tell it's our bike. So I roll down my window, and I say, "Hey, where'd you get that bike?" He's like, "What?" I was like, "That's my bike. I got the keys to the lock right here." And then he just takes off. And then for the next 10 minutes, I'm in a high pursuit chase of the bike thief around our neighborhood. I'm throwing it into the reverse. I'm backing down streets, going about 20 miles per hour, flipping around. I'm like Jason Statham in our neighborhood right now, trying to catch this thief. And I'm yelling at him, "I ain't ever going to stop till I get my bike back." And I got the cops on the phone, but they're like, "You got to stop chasing this guy." And I'm like, "I'm not okay," but I'm not stopping. I'm not like
You're not gonna listen to the cops.
Well, yeah. They weren't there, and I was scared he was gonna get away, and I wasn't gonna give up on this bike. Mm-hmm. Long story short, he turns into this yard where I imagine he thought, "I'm gonna cut behind this house so I can get off the road to this guy because I'm in a car." He's like, I gotta get off the road. So he cuts through this house. Then there's this massive fence. And so he's like, "Oh, shoot, now I'm cornered." So he stops, and he's just standing over the bike. So I was like, here's my opportunity. I throw the car into park. I get out, and I say, "If you drop the bike, I'll hang up on the cops right now, and it'll be over." And that's where he turned from annoyed to me following me to aggressive. And he said, "What, you snitched on me?" So now he's getting in my face, chasing me down. And what the cop said is, "You can't follow him. He could be armed." And that didn't mean anything to me until he was in my face. And I was like, so I got a cowardice real quick. And that's when I hopped back in the car and locked the door. And I said, "If you leave the bike, I'll hang up on the cops." And then he's getting really upset that I'm on the phone with the cops. So I lied to him, and I told him I wasn't even on the phone. I was just saying that to scare you. And then the cops are on speakerphone. They hear everything I'm saying to this guy, and they're like, "Please stop engaging with this man." And like, I'm like, "I'm not." And like, "We can hear you talking to him." "We hear you. Stop." So then I hung up on the cops, and then the guy was like, I was like, "All right, just." He hands me back the helmet, because he took that as well, and we got the bike back.
Success.
Did I almost lose my life? No. Could I have almost lost my life for the sake of getting our bike back? Yes.
Yes.
But we didn't. And that's a what's that? I think it's like a lesson to anybody, growing up.
Let it go. That's the lesson.
Sometimes you do have to let it go. Yeah, you can't always fight for your right to get your bike back. Sometimes, it worked out for me. I am a success story.
I said thank you, but please never do that again.
Yes, and that's super fair. We have a pretty exciting topic that we're going to get into today. But first, maybe just if we could both share, something that as we're getting older, you're not 30 yet, but I am now 31. I just turned 31 last week, so I'm feeling it.
Woo!
And I think the difference between, having a birthday in your 20s and having a birthday in your 30s is you get a vacuum, and you get really excited about getting a new vacuum for your birthday.
Yeah, that's you for sure.
Yes, that's for sure. This is the life I live now. I vacuum every day.
And
Meg, you're a candy lady.
I am a candy lady.
You want to tell us what happened at the comedy show last night?
I was in the front row. We were in the front row of the comedy show, and I'm just a little tickle in my throat. So I was like, breaking out my cough drops, and I didn't realize it, but it was so loud.
I would say a solid 57 seconds of just the crinkling like this of Meg unwrapping her candy. No, you didn't rip it, but you get the picture.
Yeah. So that's me getting older. Is that me getting older? Is that what that's about?
I think just old ladies.
Oh, have candy.
Yeah.
In their pocket.
Yeah, candy.
In their purse.
Yeah, you always just got candy in your pocket. You know,
I
got
do
a cough
always
drop.
have a little snack or candy.
Yeah.
In my pocket.
Yeah, so if you need somebody to interrupt your comedy show and unwrap a candy or a cough drop in the front row, Megan's your girl. You're a woman. Sorry. I mean, you're also a girl. Feels weird to say I'm married to a girl, though.
Yeah, don't say that.
I'm married to a woman. It feels much more comfortable. So, we are in a special time of the year. Everyone, we're coming to the end of October, the beginning of November. Everybody's talking about this. Everybody's up in arms. I mean, it's all over the news. People are taking one side or the other.
Yes.
All about, do we want more summer or are we ready for fall?
I was thinking the same thing.
There's two sides. There's only two sides. You get to pick, left or right.
Yes.
Left is summer, right is fall. I guess that analogy kind of breaks down at some point. But Meg was telling me earlier today that everybody thought this was going to be brat summer or brat summer, as you said. Yes.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Yes. Well, I know what a brat is, but I don't know what it means to be.
But was it brat summer?
People were just feeling, people are in their feels.
They're bratty.
Which I think.
Like a Bratz doll?
Yeah, just like that, yes. But they were thinking about the wrong toy because it wasn't the Bratz doll summer. It was the Pink Pony Club summer.
Oh, yes, it was the Pink Pony Club summer. If it was not Pink Pony Club summer for you, I'm so sorry. It's the only song I listened to from June to August, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I would say June to October 20th when we're recording this podcast. I mean, we started this podcast by listening to it.
The song is so good.
It is so good. And if you've never heard of it, you know what? You could look it up on Spotify. You could be the average American who hears about a song and then goes on Apple Music and Spotify, or you could join our Patreon and you could get behind the scenes for this episode and you could listen to us sing about it a little bit.
Yeah.
You could also hear the song there and then listen to the full version on Spotify.
Yeah.
Those are two options, for you, really. But Pink Pony Club. Speaking, did I ever tell you about the bumper sticker I saw?
I don't remember.
So I went to campus and on the back of this Prius was, I don't know, it's not relevant, but it was a Prius, but that's not relevant to the bumper sticker at all. Anyways, this bumper sticker, it said, are you going to Pink Pony Club or hell? And it was Chappelle 316. Wait, is it Chapel?
It's Chapel.
And I always say Chappelle.
Yeah.
Not Dave Chappelle 316. Chapel 316.
Chapel Roan. Or as Mike likes to say, Chapone.
Chapone, yes. There's many names for this Midwestern, what does she say? The rise and fall of a Midwestern...
Princess.
Midwestern princess. California is my favorite song by Chapone. And so... really, what we're talking about today is, do we just want endless summer or are we ready for fall? Well, I've always been a summer guy.
I knew it. I
mean, I think growing up in Missouri, it is hot and humid, but there is some pros, that I'll get into, but I am of fall, and there's fond memories of fall, of what fall brings up, throughout my childhood and into high school, even college, but there nothing beats the freedom, the thrill of summer. School gets out for summer. I mean, what's that song? school's out for summer. And you're throwing the papers in the air. There's no responsibility. It's just you, the boys, and the bike club. Just biking around the city, getting into trouble, building forts in the woods. I mean, when I think back to all of the cool things about growing up, there's nothing better than summer. And now, I don't know if this is just getting older or if it's just the fact that we live in Seattle, but fall brings the big gray where the sun goes into hibernation.
Or away, if you want it to rhyme.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're the lyricist of this podcast, so next time we have a song, we'll have you do that. When the sun's out, I feel happy. I feel excited. There's only so much that vitamin D tablets every day and a happy light can give you. It's different than what, God's sun can bring you into your life. So I'm team summer all the way. And we had a great summer.
We did have a really fun summer.
And I teased it last episode that we're going to do a recap of our trip to Europe.
Yeah.
And this is further proof that endless summer is the way to go. Summer means vacation. It means getting away. Now, our Europe trip wasn't purely vacation. There was part of a vocational aspect to it. But we did get to do some vacation-y things.
Yeah, we did.
While we were there. We got to see the sights. We got to eat the foods. We got to experience the culture.
Mm-hmm.
This week's episode of the Average Oddcast is brought to you by our friends at the Knitpick Collective. The Knitpick Collective is an online clothing brand that represents a group of artists and comedians. Their site offers unique, all-over print sweatshirt designs, as well as apparel that you won't be able to find anywhere else. Let me ask you, do you like frogs on penny farthing bikes? How about rainbow unicorns? How about vacuuming every day? Well, then this site might be for you. You can use the promo code so many things, no spaces in there. It's all caps, and you can get 20% off shirts, hoodies, and hats. Pull up a tab on your cell phone or wherever you're watching this, wherever you're listening to this, and go to the Knitpick Collective. That's knit with a K, and tell them Mike sent you. So instead of doing a boring, here's everything we did, we're going to do a Mount Rushmore.
We are.
So we went to Ireland, mostly in Dublin. We went in London, kind of around. We went to Oxford as well, but surrounding London areas. And then we also went all over France with our friends. So of those 3 legs of the Europe trip, you have 4. If you don't know what if people don't know what Mount Rushmore is, Meg, they're
I think most people know.
But for someone, we have listeners all over the world. Sure, most Americans know what Mount Rushmore is, but if you're in Switzerland right now,
that's true. We just explained this to our French friends what Mount Rushmore was.
That's a much better example, real world example. Yeah, what is Mount Rushmore?
Top 4 experiences, top 4 things. Like, what are your favorite top 4?
Yes, that's what we're doing right now. But what is Mount Rushmore? Like, how are we getting that from? Where's that come from?
Oh, it comes from it's in South Dakota or is it North Dakota?
I'd put a $5 down on it, South Dakota.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's South Dakota where it has the presidents.
Yes.
4 very important presidents.
Yes, 4
that you are going to name right now.
I am going to name them?
Yeah.
Okay, here's this would actually be way more fun. Instead of one of us naming the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore, would be taking turns.
Okay, well, I'm going to go first.
You're going to go first?
George Washington.
Oh, you took I don't know if that's the easiest one, but that's up there. I think it's one of the top 2 easiest answers. I mean, there's only 4, but so George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I took the other easy one.
Jefferson?
Oh, phenomenal. Do you know his first name?
Thomas
Jefferson, yes. And then the last one would be Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, snap. Did we get them all?
We got them all. I mean, I'm not going to fact check us right now, but
we went to college.
Yeah, I did pass American history, so what were we talking about?
Our Mount Rushmore of Europe.
Mount Rushmore, yes. So You have four places, your top 4. What are they?
You're not going to go first? I'm going first.
You're going first. Ladies first in this world.
First of all, Bambino's Pizza. In Dublin. You would think, oh man, best food probably was in France, which there was phenomenal food in France. But this pizza was so good. What had like pepperoni, big slabs of mozzarella on it.
Were they New York pepperoni?
Stop. He's making fun of me right now. It was kind of like New York style-esque.
Yeah, I think it was New York style pizza though.
And it had that hot honey drizzle on it.
I love a good hot honey on a slice of pie.
And basil. Oh, that also had like basil on top. Oh my gosh. It's the best pizza I've ever had.
Bambino's in Dublin. I think it would be fun to alternate, huh?
Yeah. You go next.
So they're in no particular order. It's just the top 4. It's not like Bambino's your number 1. It's just on the Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's also in Dublin. I had been saying the second best cup of coffee, but I think as I've really had time to reflect, I had the best cup of coffee I have ever had in my entire life at Brew Lab Dublin.
And Mike's a coffee snob, so
yes, it was. So Brew Lab, they don't roast their own beans, but they have like roasters. They source roasters from all over Europe. And Blind Monkey was the roaster of this cup of coffee, and it had notes of banana and mango, 2 of my favorite flavors combined in a cup of coffee used in a Paragon method. If you don't know what a Paragon method is, Google it. Meg doesn't care about it, and I'm sure most people don't, but if you're interested, I think it contributed to it being the best cup of coffee I've ever had.
Also, you would think that would taste bad, like coffee that tastes like bananas.
But you were sorely wrong.
Yeah. I also had a really good cup of coffee there.
Yeah, and you normally defile your coffee with milk, and you didn't in this scenario.
I didn't. No. It tasted like coconut. I love coconut.
Yes. Very fruity coffees. They had chocolatey coffees too, but those are the ones we were vibing with. All right, number 2.
So we had a friend in France that invited us to come stay with her, which was such a cool experience. We stayed with her family, and we had one of the most wild, unique experiences as we went to a reggae concert in the middle of nowhere near a campsite for somebody's birthday at a bar.
Yeah.
Where there were also young children running around.
Just in the middle of the countryside, just this reggae concert.
Just a reggae concert in the countryside of France for somebody's birthday.
Maybe the most unstereotypical French thing that I could imagine.
Yes.
Is on your Mount Rushmore of your time in Europe. That's pretty incredible.
It was wild.
So my second one is going to be in London. Oh, so your second one was reggae. Okay. My second one is in London. I went to Top Secret Comedy Club, which is a comedy club in the city of London, kind of in like the central London area. It was on a Tuesday night, and they like slowly release who's going to be on the show. And sometimes they have like true, like you don't know until you show up who's on the show. But this one you kind of like knew. I think they posted like most of the comedians. Anyways, nobody I really ever knew of. They were mostly like European comedians, but it was top to bottom the best comedy show I've ever been to. Like, I mean, I've seen like, you know, my favorites, you know, Dusty Slade, Nate Bargatze, you know, but like from front to back, just killers and doing 15-minute sets. And it was like, and we paid up, what is it, like €1 or £1? I forget what their currency is in England.
Pounds.
So we had paid £1 to get in, and it was through and through like the best show I've ever seen. That was amazing.
It was packed.
Yes.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
For my third one? I think just the pan chocolat that I had in France.
Bread.
Yeah.
Because for listeners who don't know, you are gluten-free in America.
I am.
But over across the pond, I mean, it's the Wild West for bread for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no rules.
There's no rules. I can eat anything, which I know you're all going to say is a freaking scam and is fake, but it's true. Okay. They process their wheat differently. And yeah, I buy the flour and have like European flour made things here too. So anyways, but the pastries in France are like unmatched to anything I've ever had.
Nothing in America can rival it?
No.
Bold claim.
No. Pain Chocolat and like so many other pastries in France, like they know what they're doing. They're doing it right.
Do you remember the really bougie ones that we like rode bikes around the city trying to find?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the names of those?
No.
Darn, that'd be cool. But we had these really expensive, fancy pastries that our French friends recommended. Golly, one was like 1,000 layers or something. Like it was like a French name for like 1,000 layers.
Yeah, and something was something of Paris.
Something was yes. The Bear of Paris or
no,
it wasn't Bear. It had nothing to do with
Bear. It was not
Bear.
that.
The Paris Bridge.
We'll come back to it. Maybe we'll
probably never remember it, but yeah, they were great. We ate them in a park with birds. Pain Chocolat. Mine's also food.
Okay.
It was eating Portuguese tarts. My favorite sweet, which is like impossible to find in America.
Yeah, not common.
I think it really is my favorite sweet, though.
Really?
I think, yeah, hands down. I mean, I love like a good peach ring for sure. Like you get that anywhere in America. I will say if Starbucks was still, not Starbucks, if Starbursts, similar, Starburst were still making Sweet Heat Starburst, it would be that. But that's not the case. Portuguese tarts, and just because I have to pick a place, the one I had at Brew Lab, also in Dublin, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I had other good ones, but that one was the best one. But in general, Portuguese tarts, specifically, Brew Lab. What's your last one?
I think I'm going to go with going to that comedy show in Dublin.
I did not see that coming.
You didn't see that coming?
Wow, okay.
The one we went to with my cousin?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And then you did like a few minutes there?
Yeah, I did.
It was just a fun vibe.
5 or 7 minutes, like a guest set there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just fun.
Man, what was the name of that place? Was it like it was like a Hysteria comedy?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it was Hysteria comedy. It was at like, and I just love that kind of comedy show. Is like going to a comedy club is the ideal scenario, I think, for comedy, because it's a place built for comedy. But if you can find a room, a dedicated room, it has to be a separate room. It can't be in the general population of a bar or like another venue. But there's upstairs, there's something else going on. Everyone's just drinking, partying, and then you're like, where's the comedy show? And then someone points to a door, and then you walk up or downstairs to a secret room that's like you got to kind of get to, you know, it's not obvious. And then you walk in, the lights are down low, and there's a buzz, there's an energy in the room, and the stage is already lit, and everyone's just packed in there. I mean, it's sweaty.
It was packed in there.
It's not always sweaty, isn't great, but everyone's just crammed into this little room. And, you know, the stage is just right up on the front row. I love a show like that. Yeah. I almost forgot about Hysteria, but that was a fun show.
That was really fun.
So let's just do a quick tally. You had 2 in Dublin, 1 in France.
2 in France, I think.
Oh, yeah, 2 in France. Yep, the reggae concert. England didn't make it.
Didn't make the cut.
Wow, that's incredible.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you love London.
I'm like obsessed with London.
Before going, you're like, we're going to move to London. And then afterwards, you're like, I can't picture myself moving to London. That's not true.
That's not true.
I don't want to move to London. And then your Mount Rushmore didn't even include anything from there.
Yeah.
Truly, truly incredible.
Crazy.
My third one is going to be none other than the elephant in Nantes.
Yeah.
The mechanical elephant in Nantes. If you're ever in, is that the south of France? Would you consider that southwest?
That is not the south.
All right, the west of western.
It's west. Northwest.
It was northwest.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can't remember the geography well enough to contend against that, but basically, how would you describe the Nantes elephant?
Or maybe it's like middle. Not quite north, but middle. Anyways, in the west. The mechanical elephant.
Yes.
It kind of looks like it is supposed to be at an amusement park, but it's just in this area in the city.
If you've seen Lord of the Rings, the elephant that has like the army, and they're like in one of like the big battles, they have like a giant elephant, and the people are like, they have like what do you call with a bow and arrow, like archers like on top of it. Do you remember this?
I feel like I kind of remember it. Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's obviously not as big, but it is probably, what do you think, 30 feet high?
At least.
Maybe 40 feet high. People are riding on the top, and the trunk shoots out water.
Yeah.
And will get you moist. And sorry, I don't know why I panicked.
Why did you say it like that?
I don't know. It will spray water on you.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
So we did that. And that was fun. But I thought it was like just kind of a weird thing that we came across, and I love like weird things.
Of course you do.
I was a little embarrassed because when we went out there to like have the elephant spray us, it was just us and a bunch of like 8-year-olds. We're just a bunch of adults.
But it's like, how often do you have the chance to get sprayed with water by this mechanical elephant in this random place, you know?
I mean, maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. So like we had to take that opportunity.
Of course. Yeah. So don't judge us.
Yeah.
For being thrill seekers, capitalizing on the moment, making the most of every moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a little embarrassing in the moment. Looking back, I have no embarrassment in the moment.
No regrets.
Speaking of embarrassing moments, Meg has a fun idea for a new segment of the podcast where we surprise each other with embarrassing facts.
Yes. So I don't know if can you like play a sound like to segue us in?
Yeah, I'll put one.
Oh, you'll put one in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't really get to the board right now because it's underneath my desk.
Okay.
Is that the kind of noise you want?
No, something a little bit more intense.
Oh, okay, kind of like a dun dun. No, that's way too intense.
That's not it. Anyways, so I'm going first with my embarrassing fact. Yeah. So something, I don't even know if you know this about me. But sometimes.
Oh man, I know you feel it. You want to know what was the embarrassing fact? What was Meg gonna say? What was Mike gonna say? Well, you're gonna have to hop on over to Patreon to see this deleted scene, as well as some more behind the scenes action. Going over to Patreon, sign up. It's gonna be great. It's all worth it. You get exclusive content not released on our regular episodes, as well as some of Mike's unreleased comedy clips. Go check it out. See you over there. Now back to the rest of the episode.
Like way less embarrassing than mine. I feel like yours is definitely not as good.
Well, I mean, you were going to surprise me, and I didn't know the level that you were coming in with.
Well, now you know. You can level up next time.
Level up. All right, and so I don't know. There in my mind there was a song I was gonna reference, but then I couldn't remember the rest of the song. So is that a song? Level Up?
Probably
like
somewhere.
A rap song. So I'm Team Summer. Meg is Team Fall.
Yeah, bring on the fall. And don't get me wrong, I do love summer, but I just am like I'm ready,
You're ready
for fall.
You love it, but you're like, I almost can't let it go. I'm like a little kid throwing a tantrum, like summer's coming to an end. But you can let it go because you also love fall so much.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
I love all the pumpkin stuff. I love the Halloween movies. I love the pumpkin patch. I love the fall leaves. I'm a basic white girl that loves to get her pumpkin scented things and go to the pumpkin patch. What can I say?
I can attest to it.
Arvo has been in our lives for 1 year, and he has 3 Halloween costumes.
Arvo, our dog.
Yes.
We don't have a child.
Yes.
But some people would be confused by the way you talk about our dog. Some would think we do have a son.
I've gone to the pumpkin patch twice.
This year already.
I have 2 different types of pumpkin hand soap sitting in our bathroom right now. I have really stocked up at Trader Joe's and all their pumpkin flavored things.
Like what?
Oh, like I got pumpkin hand soap from there, and I also did. That's not flavored. That's scented. I got the pumpkin muffins, the gluten-free pumpkin muffin mix. I get their gluten-free pumpkin pancake mix. Those are like the main ones. I also usually get the candle, but I haven't gotten the candle yet this year.
Pumpkin. Big pumpkin girl.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, and I got those tortilla chips shaped like fall leaves.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and the pumpkin pasta. The pumpkin ravioli.
Oh, yeah. That was actually surprisingly good. It's a pumpkin on the inside. America, we do so much, I don't know. Does that happen in other countries?
We're so extra.
Who else is doing pumpkin flavored ravioli? I mean, that is a truly we've taken someone else's thing and we've said, we're going to Americanize this. How can you Americanize ravioli? Pumpkin flavored ravioli.
So good.
Beautiful. I love this country.
But yeah, like back in the day, fall kind of like meant newness and stuff like that. And also for me, it was the start of swim season. I did swim, big swimmer. And I loved the newness of the new school year, fresh start. And I loved going to all the spooky things with my friends. Oh, it was just such a good time.
Like the haunted house?
Yeah.
You like a haunted house?
I did.
Oh, you did like it?
I did like it. So that was like my back in the day vibe. But
I don't mess with a haunted house. I don't mess with a horror film. I don't even like the commercials. I honestly think you should not be allowed to play horror film commercials on daytime television or streaming, whatever you're rocking with.
That's a fair statement.
I'm just watching a football game and then all of a sudden some scary movies, I get 30 seconds, the highlight reel of some scary movie. I'm like, I'm just enjoying my Sunday afternoon here. What are we doing? I don't know. I'll get fired up about that, but sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're good. But yeah,
when did you stop liking haunted houses?
I don't know. Maybe more like towards college. I kind of was like, I'm over it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think it's, I don't know if you're with me on this. I don't know if this is anything, but when adults are super into a haunted house,
yeah,
that's kind of like a rare breed of adults, right? Because I kind of feel like haunted houses are like, there's like some crazy ones in Kansas City. I don't know if they're still around, but when I was growing up, they're like these massive like old buildings, and it would take like almost an hour, I think, to get through the whole one. I only went to it once, and I was like, I am never going back here again.
Yeah.
They're called The Beast and the Edge of Hell.
Oh gosh.
Which, what is
intense.
That? Come on, it's so intense. But those are like real adult haunted houses. Like terrifying, like good luck sleeping tonight haunted houses. And I think that's a weird subset.
Like makes you sign a waiver before you go in.
We probably did sign a waiver.
Yeah.
That's like, you're doing way too much.
But now in the fall, it kind of feels like new year, you know? New year, new me.
Of course.
Because it's like a new season. To me, the start of the year seems more so in the fall than it does January 1st. Maybe that's a hot take, but the start of the new year to me feels like it starts in fall.
Oh, just because like we've lived in college towns, been on a college rhythm, like the
but
the
like
new school year.
also we've gone to school so many years of our lives, you know?
Sure. I mean, I am getting to the point where I'm kind of like half and half, but I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm just been thinking like fall, we got a few more months left of this year of 2024.
3 months left, or
3 months left, 2.5. So, and since fall is like the new year,
as you sit up in your chair right now,
we're trying to like do some of our, what's something that you want
New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, New Year's resolution
goals for this year. If you're not into any of that.
you gotta get to them before 2025 comes around.
And yours is working on posture as you sit up and
my posture's looking pretty good, isn't it?
Pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you working on?
Oh, I'm just trying to be funny. Yeah, I'm just trying to become better at writing jokes. Yeah, that's my goal.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do.
That's all you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you're trying to start doing in the next few months before?
Ooh, anything I'm trying to start doing?
Like a habit?
Like a
even?
habit? No, but I'm gonna think.
A hobby?
On that. I have way too many hobbies to pick up a new one. I'm trying to cut a hobby before the end of the year. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have less hobbies by the end of the year.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm trying to have better posture, and I want to start really learning Chinese.
Oh, yes.
Before the end of the year.
Mandarin, not Cantonese.
Yes. So that's my new year, new fall, new me.
New year, new fall, new me. Meg's going to sit up straight and
speak Mandarin.
Speak Mandarin, yes. And I'm going to cut out a hobby for my life, and I'm actually going to write a joke that's funny. So I think realistic goals for the end of this year.
Yeah.
How'd you, any other final closing thoughts?
On fall?
Yeah.
Or just on anything?
Yeah. On endless summer, or are you ready for fall?
Honestly, we can just skip winter.
Skip winter, yeah. Winter's coming. I mean, that's only good for Game of Thrones. I mean, that's the only thing winter is good for.
I'd honestly be fine skipping winter and spring and only having summer and fall. Hot take.
Is there a place in the world where you just have a summer and fall?
I don't think so.
I mean, kind of Seattle, honestly.
Kind of.
I mean, we technically have winter and spring here, but if you compare it to like the rest of the United States,
yeah,
or like the Midwest,
it doesn't really snow as much.
Right. So we don't.
I hate the snow.
It's good to be in Seattle then.
Yeah.
You just got the big gray, no snow here, gray. No white. Well, actually, plenty of whites, but no.
I was like, what?
Not Snow White. Not talking about Disney. And all right, this has been fun. We're gonna wrap things up here. Thanks for listening to another week of Son of a Lunch Lady. Stay funny
and stay weird.
Great shot!